What up, my tubies? We back for another vintage cube draft. Before we start, hit that goddamn like and subscribe button. If you don't, I will probably 0-3 drop and cry. Yeah. Anyway, pretty decent pick one, pack one here for us. At least for not opening power, anyways. We have a couple insane 05 drops, a G Daddy, Bar of Soap, Fellows, Miscalc, the 5 drops I was talking about, Bribery, and Fracture Identity. Both of those kind of disgusting. I mean, a lot of times with vintage cubes, it's just about drafting what you like. Obviously, you can try to find some open lanes or whatever, but I don't think there's necessarily a wrong way to draft the format. Bribery and Fractured Identity are pretty darn gross, but you know what? I'm going to take the Grizzlebrand this time. Yesterday's video, we did a blue-white deck. Oh, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, by the way. Today is the... yes, today is the... Well, as of the posted date, it will be the 25th when this is posted, but anyway. Let's first pick the Grizzlebrand and see what we do from here. Follow that up with like a Duress or a Dark Slick Shores. Both seem reasonable enough to me. I really enjoy the discard effects in this format. Oftentimes your opponent is trying to do just completely busted, broken things, right? So a little bit of hand disruption never hurt. And even versus the like aggro decks, you often can find some really good spells to hit. Hopefully we wield the Dark Slick, but we'll take the Duress here for now. Ooh, into a Thoughtseize. Same reasoning for Duress. Thoughtseize just way too good in this type of format. Passing a Leak, an Opposition, Chandra. I am very happy to get these 2 cards, though, to start off. Into a probable Grave Titan. You know what? From here on out, I think I might just try to cut off black as hard as I can. I always joke that Reanimator is always open, but it is true. I frequently find that Reanimator is one of the archetypes that... is underdrafted, and so you end up getting a lot of good components. But yeah, let's take the gravy train here and see if we can, get an Entomb now. All right, Entomb is one of the, I'm not going to say most important, but one of the most powerful cards that you can get if you get a good Reanimate deck, which this is already looking like a real treat. I mean, it's kind of like a 1-mana tutor, right? So pretty hard to pass that. The greed play here would be to try and like take Chrome Mox or Metamorph and then wheel the Entomb, but that's just setting up for failure, I think. So let's take the Entomb and go from there. Okay. Pretty high drop off in playability now. I'm certainly not taking Olivia. I think that card is awful. They've added a bunch of the Crimson Vow cards into the cube just because, I mean, and they do this with every new set and cube, just because it's like they're obligated to showcase some of the new cards, but a lot of the ones don't make that much sense. I think here we probably just take Murderous Rider, right? Solid enough. Yeah, versatile, kills a creature, kills a planeswalker, yada yada yada. Take that, and alright, I can take Shallow Grave now. It's not my favorite Reanimate effect. In fact, it's honestly pretty weak unless you're going to do the Eldrazi game plan. But Shallow Grave on Grizzlebrand still can get you a bunch of cards or whatever, or like Shallow Grave, Grave Titan, bunch of tokens. So it's good enough to take here. Otherwise, we have like Ugin or Kiki Jiki for potentials. But oh yeah, and now we're getting an 8th pick Liliana, another fantastic card for the Reanimate deck. I mean, the quote-unquote downside of discarding a card you can often, benefit from by discarding a fat creature. Kind of stops your opponent from doing a lot of stuff, and then the -2 is often relevant enough. So fantastic pickup there for us as we wield. That's a Raphellos on the wheel, kind of gross, but I think here we'll take the Wormcoil Engine over Dreadfest, or Dreadfeast Demon. Another card from Crimson Vow that they've added. This one, I mean, a little bit more playable, sure, but still not what I want to take. There are so many better Reanimate targets. Wormcoil is going to be good, not only as a potential card that we want to start, or maybe just like a sideboard versus aggressive decks. Okay, I mean, I've picked up both Shallow Grave and Corpse Dance now in the first pack, so If we do see an Eldrazi, we can take those and go for that kind of route as well. Opposition wheeling is kind of gross. Massacre Worm again for the aggressive decks. Yeah, Scarab God's fine. I don't know if we're going to end up running it, but obviously it has synergy with Reanimate. So does Emery. Though again, I don't know if we'll be running these two. I don't really care to main deck Massacre Worm, but I think it's okay to. I mean, if we just end up in like mono black, a lot of these cards are going to be castable themselves anyways, you know? Like this is a fantastic start to a mono black Reanimator deck. I often find that you want to be running like blue with your Reanimate plan just because there are a lot of good overlapping synergies. And gives you access to like card selection with a bunch of card draw or tutor type effects. But no, that was about as good as a first pack as you could hope for, I guess. As we now pick up on, all right, well, there's an Eldrazi if we want it. But I think here we're looking at Mystical Tutor or like Mox Diamond. If you look at it, Mystical Tutor finds a lot of important cards right now. It can get the Shallow Grave and get the Corpse Dance. It can get the Entomb or even a Hand Disruption effect. It's not necessary that we take Eldrazi. In fact, like I said, I don't really care for the Eldrazi Reanimate plan. So yeah, we'll take the Tutor. And we could wheel the Eldrazi anyways, right? If not, we're probably going to wheel one of these black cards, so happy to take the Tutor and go from there. And speaking of Tutor, how about another Tutor? We'll take the Demonic, pick 2 here, maybe wheel the Damnation or like the Revoker. Obviously cannot pass this one if we are doing the Reanimate plan. Okay. I guess the number 1 pickup would be like Reanimate, because that's searchable with like Tutor as well. Oh, Underground Sea is very, very good. Oof, this pack is actually fantastic for us. We have a bunch of cards that we want to take. I think the top priorities are like Underground Sea and Frantic Search, but then Collective Brutality and Sphinx are both solid. Oh, I don't know here. This is tough. I think the bigger payoff is probably the Underground Sea, but both Brutality and Frantic Search are so, so good. I don't think we're going to wheel the Underground Sea, though. I could see the Brutality and the Search wheeling, so we'll take the land. And pick up maybe a Splashiok here. I don't really care for that, but it's probably the right choice. Alternate win condition. Pretty annoying to play against. Cabal Ritual, not necessary. Dark Ritual I would take, but Cabal Ritual not as good. Grasp is okay. Leviathan's a decent reanimate target, but I think the Ashiok is the right choice. Okay, kind of a brick pack here. We'll take the Ophiomancer, but I'm not likely to start it in the main deck. Otherwise, Control Magic, the maybe option. Ah, there's an Exhume. Okay, that's a good start. While it's not Reanimate, Exhume is one that we can Mystical Tutor for. So, good pickup. Passing a Freebooter, but that's a necessity. Animate Dead now, nice. Okay, so now we're getting all of the goodies, and that makes me a lot less inclined to run these 2 Reanimate effects. I still will, especially Shallow Grave because it's cheaper, but we're getting the better Reanimate effects, so it's not going to be as key that we run these 2. Ashen Rider, another good Reanimate target. Lots of value here. Notably with Corpse Dance and Shallow Grave, these effects exile the creature at end of turn. So because Ashen Rider is a dies trigger, it wouldn't actually work there. Okay, we did find the Ulamog on the wheel. We're going to take that over Mannequin. Easy. Yeah, super open. Don't think we need the Worm Coil here. I'd probably rather have the Massacre Worm than the Worm Coil if I'm going to run one of those. We probably don't even need too many more top-end cards. Now we're just looking for more ways to discard or tutor. Because right now, what do I have? I have an Entomb. I can Thoughtseize myself. I can Lily. There's the Damnation on the wheel. That's good. But yeah, we need more ways to actually put cards in the graveyard. If I could wheel that Frantic Search, for example, that would be fantastic. Okay, I think this was the pack that had the Frantic Search. There is a possibility of running like a value Yawgmoth's Will, but I don't think it's that likely. Damn and Cabal Ritual come back. Like I said, Cabal Ritual not as impressive. Dark Ritual slam dunk, but this is just like a maybe. I don't really care for Damn since we picked up the Damnation. Terastodon, that's an okay reanimate target if we want to. Lion's Eye Diamond is a way to discard, but maybe not the one we were looking for. But remember, this is only the end of pack 2. We have one more pack to solidify our deck here. And once again, no power, but some really good choices. Dimir Signet, Liliana, Brainstorm, Petal, Remand, all good. Primus is another fine reanimate target as well, but like I said, I don't think we need any more of those. I didn't mention the Bazaar because that's probably going to end up wheeling, and I don't really care for Bazaar. It's like, if you need ways to discard, it is serviceable, but usually it's not good. I think we'll just take the Signet here. A little ramp, a little fixing, never hurt. Let's go with that. Jace is pretty good looking here. Ponder. Yeah, I mean, I don't love taking a 2-drop in blue when I don't have much blue fixing, but this is another way to discard some cards, so good pickup for sure. Hymn to Turok or Polluted Delta. Oh, you know what? There's also a Suspicious Stowaway here. Another way to discard some cards, but I think we want to take either the Delta or the Hymn. I already have Duress and Thoughtseize, so I think I'm going to take the land. Yeah, I like that. More fixing, more better. Recurring Nightmare is whatever. I do like Hullbreaker Horror. That could be another good reanimate target. Shinobi doesn't look very good here, and I'm not even going to consider Recurring Nightmare. Mentioned that before, but that's for more of the value graveyard decks, and I don't really have any cheap creatures to kind of flicker back and forth with the Recurring Nightmare, so take the Horror and consider. Man, late Tinker, but I have nothing to tinker for. Let's take a Toxic, so now we have multiple Wrath effects, right? We have the Damnation and the Toxic. Another good pickup for sure. Archon of Death. Oh, but we need to take this Putrid Imp. Am I running Hullbreaker Horror instead of Massacre Worm? That might be right. Yeah, Archon's an amazing way to, or an amazing reanimate target, but we already have plenty of those, and I need more ways to cheaply discard. Putrid Imp's a free way to do so. Easy pickup there for me. Are we ever going to run Hangerback Walker? Probably not, but it's the only card that we might play. Oh, another good pack. Duretti, Talisman, Whisper. Talisman's a little bit risky. I don't think we need that since we already have Demonic and Mystical. So let's just take the 2-mana draw 2. There's the Bazaar on the wheel. Do we want that? I don't think we need Lily, but she's not bad. It's another backup way to reanimate, plus a way to get some cards in the yard. This could definitely be a Bazaar deck, though. Let's see, Entomb, Imp, 1, 2, 3. Ugh. I don't like Bazaar of Baghdad. I'm going to take the Liliana. Sucks, but I think that's right. Oh, wait. This was the Yorion pack. This had... What did this... Did this have the Hymn to Turok in it? This had something that I wanted in it. I don't remember what it was, though. Not running any of those. Ah. I feel like I'm going to regret not taking the Bazaar, but, I mean... If you look at it, I have actually quite a few ways to discard, right? We have Mystical Tutor, which can grab like Entomb, so that counts as 1. Putrid Imp, that's 2. Entomb is 3. Thoughtseize 4. Demonic Tutor's 5. Jace 6. Liliana 7. And then even this Liliana can make you discard. So I think we have enough ways, but I know somebody's going to yell at me for not taking Bazaar in this deck. Do we want 17 lands here, or do we think we can get away with 16? Let's see. I have Animate Dead, Exhume, Shallow Grave, Corpse Dance. That's 4 reanimates. Nice. Yeah, I imagine the tutors are going to be MVP, as they often are. I can probably shave the Damnation from the main for starters and just play the Toxic. And then, should we need to bring in some like ways to beat creatures? Well, we have a Phiomancer, we have Damnation, we have the Worm Coil, and the Massacre Worm. So, really good sideboard. Oh, excuse me. Oh, really good sideboard versus some creature-based decks. Let's go like that. Take a peek. Yeah, looks good to me. The only thing we're really missing is the fast mana. We're missing the Dark Ritual. I mean, I almost wonder if the Cabal Ritual is worth running just for that 1 extra mana on that specific turn. Like cut Murderous Rider here. I'm actually going to do that. This is so much worse than Dark Ritual in the deck, but it's still like 1 extra mana might be key. So sort by color. We're only ever going to hard cast the Ashiok, the Jason Tutor, presumably, so we don't need to run that many islands. 4/11 seems good. And let's save this. All right. Nice little Reanimator deck here in the Vintage Cube. Go round 1. Here's round 1 of this Vintage Cube with our Reanimator deck. And looks like we have a pretty solid hand here. This is a turn 3. Yeah, a turn 3 Grizzlebrand. Because I don't have Reanimate, so we can go Putrid Imp turn 1. Turn 2, like Signet. Turn 3, Tutor 4, Exhume or whatever, and Reanimate Grizzlebrand. So seems pretty good. So our opponent mulligan to 6. Copperline Gorge. I think I can probably beat that one. All right, let's attack for 1. And play out the Siggy. All right. Now we go upkeep Tutor. Go look for Exhume. Draw the Exhume. Let's go discard Grizzlebrand. Exhume. Draw 7. Look for Thoughtseize or something. And it looks like they've had enough. Turn 3 Grizzlebrand. Not too bad. The only thing we know is that the opponent's playing 4 colors. They played Copperline Gorge, a red-green land, and then Scrubland, a white-black land. So we actually don't get much info from that. I mean, I guess if they're running that many colors, it's likely they're not going to be an aggro deck. So I probably don't need to bring in any of my random creature removals. So we just run it back as is, I guess. And what do we have here? This needs to find 1 land, and it's very good. So we're going to give it a shot. We're on the draw, so we have a couple looks at a land here. And easy, we just find it off the top. Good. Let's go ahead and imp on turn 1. And then probably Demonic Ritual on turn 2. Lily also... Oh, I could also just Cabal Ritual into Liliana. Huh. Could also go get Ulamog here and then Ulamog Shallow Grave them. See, this is where Dark Ritual would have been nuts. We would have just wiped their board if we had Dark Ritual instead of Cabal Ritual. I think I like that, though. Let's go Tutor for Ulamog. Pass. And then we can Shallow Grave Ulamog. Oh, especially if they don't do anything here, we're just going to wipe their board. Fairy Time Raveler. All right, no responses. They're just going to uptick. Sure. All right. Oh, that ruins my Shallow Grave. Huh. I can't actually Shallow Grave with the Ulamog trigger on the stack because of that. Oh, that's brutal. Wow. Okay. That's funny. That's super funny. I mean, I could just kill their Teferi, I guess, but that's not very good. I guess I have to, though. I don't have a choice. Yikes. All right, let's discard the Hullbreaker Horror to the Imp. Shallow Grave it. Brutal. This would have basically been a win next turn, or this turn. Good beats. I mean, we still got plenty of good cards in our hand, but now we just got rid of our insta-win game plan. Cultivate, sure. Yeah, Corpse Dance will still win if we can find Corpse Dance next turn. Otherwise, we probably just have to play Jace out. Or if I draw like Grizzlebrand off the top, we can Exhume Grizzlebrand. No? Okay. I mean, I could just start getting Lily online too. That's probably alright. But I think Jace is probably the line we want to go with. Just to go filter into better cards. And if Jace lives, then we can still Shallow Grave from the graveyard next turn. So let's hope they don't do anything here. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so now we're still going to win. So we go Cabal Ritual, get the 4th card in the graveyard. Loot with Jace. Discard land, that flips Jace. Target our Shallow Grave. We can play the land. Oh, I guess I want a Lily minus on them instead of Lily uptick. Then we Putrid Imp. Ulamog. Cast the Shallow Grave. Alright, and they scooped. Good enough. We'll take it. Easy baby 1-0. And here's round number 2 of this Vintage Cube draft with our sexy little spice. Okay, I'm going to keep this hand. Oddly, it would be a little bit better on the draw, where I could just like discard Ashen Rider to card size after I Night's Whisper. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to Night Whisper next turn, but it's going to put me back up to exactly 7. So we're hoping here to find like a discard effect. Because what I might actually just do next turn then is draw my card and pass the turn. Especially versus mono green. Oh, they have the creature that turns into a cradle. Ah, okay, this works. So I can actually Thought Seize myself now. Yeah, let's do that. Thoughtseize myself, discard Ashen Rider. And then we can exhume it. Thoughtseize reveals, so they get to look at my hand too. So we can exhume, kill their Circle of Dreams Druid, and then duress them the following turn. So I actually got punished here for not playing out another swamp last turn. I guess that was a mistake, huh? Yeah, I should have thought about that, because I have a lot of 1-mana black spells. I mean, it's a clock, but it's not even that impressive at the end of the day. Yeah, they just have a bunch of stuff still. So, hopefully we can find a little bit more interaction. Ooh. Smuggler's Copter, Tanglewire, Winter Orb. I guess I take the Well, Green Sun's pretty spicy. I don't think we care about Tanglewire or Winter Orb. So is there a creature that they could Green Sun for that would hurt me? I think it's just the Copter. Yeah, I think we just take the Copter there. All right, level up Tree Speaker. They are going to Tanglewire. That's fine. I think that hurts them a lot more than it hurts me. Shallow Grave, okay. Well, we just have them on a nice little clock. I mean, I guess they can tap the Wire and the Goose. But I guess they could tap the Divining Top too, but even with Winter Orb, the Tanglewire is not good enough. I'm rather surprised they ran that out. Oh, they didn't tap the Goose. I guess they're going to make a food? Huh. They are going to... Okay, I have no idea what's going on. Last card in their hand is a Green Sun. I feel like they've locked themselves out, but who knows? If they want to tap their orb, they can, so I get to untap my lands. I think they're going to need to block and make a food this turn so that they're not dead on a 2-turn clock. Well, we have certainly drawn a lot of land. Holy smokes. Oh, wait, what? Oh, they're going to do this instead and just... Okay, so they're not going to chump quite yet. Interesting. Oh, I guess they have a bit of time here. That Goose is actually really annoying because going to 6 means they can afford to take another hit. Maybe I just draw Entomb next turn and we can end it because I've drawn a lot of air. Also, another good thing here, we have a lot of good sideboard cards versus them. Wormcoil I don't think necessary, but Massacre Worm, Ophiomancer, and maybe even Murderous Rider. Oh, and Damnation, yeah. We get a lot of them. A lot of goodies. Okay, what's their play here? looks like they're just gonna make another food. Tap our signet again. This is a pretty funny set of draws, isn't it? Crazy. All right, so they're going to go back up to 1. That does mean the goose is going to have to block again next turn, though. Tangle Wire's offline. Winter Orb's still active, and I'm pretty sure it's still hurting them more than me. I mean, I still won't be surprised if we lose this game. If they have, like, natural order into hoof or something nuts, you know? It's not hard to see a loss possible. Actually, if they had natural order, how much would they have this turn? 3, 6, 9, 10, 15. That would they'd be 1 short of killing me if they had natural order into Crater Hoof this turn. Because they'd have to tap the tree speaker for mana. Yeah. Kind of a brutal flood here. What was my opening hand? My opening hand was Exhume, Whisper, Duress. No, I don't even remember now. Exhume, I think it was Exhume, Whisper, Duress, Rider, Signet, 2 land? Is that right? Huh. Okay, they're going to Green Sun for 2. That's a good one. That gives them a lot of mana next turn. All right, I hopefully just draw Entomb to win the game, but we could still definitely lose this. We have a lot of cards that will instantly win. So let's find one of them. Oh my god. So they're going to have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're going to have 10 mana next turn. But what choice do I have? I have to attack. So they block with Goose. I don't even think they make a food anymore. I think they just go for the kill next turn. If they have it, like natural order or whatever. Because them going to 4, it's irrelevant. Or it feels like it's irrelevant. Oh, okay, they are. I do like that. Because that means they have 2 less mana, 2 fewer lands untapped this turn. They still have access to a bunch. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, if they have hoof, they got me. Please just die. That's a good start. If they're spinning top, they're digging. Desperation mode. Uh-oh. Here we go. Maybe they have like a stone. Oh, no. 3 mana. Or 3. Kitchen Finks, sack food. Go back up to 6. Wait, no, they can't attack. They have to use that for food. All right, can I please just anything? This is so sad. I like how we're almost at the mana to hard cast Ulamog because our draw has been so bad. Do you have the natural order? Or the hoof? Wow. Incredible. That's so frustrating. Good beats, though. Yeah, we just drew nothing but flood. Ay, 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 ay. Those are the games that make me cry. I don't like the shallow gray, or rather, I don't like the Eldrazi versus green usually because they can out-permanent you pretty easily. I don't think we want the Ophiomancer, but we definitely want the Damnation and the Massacre Worm. So that means I can probably cut the Corpse Dance then. Ugh, man. Super sad about that game. Yeah, we just extreme flooded. Alright, run it like this. I don't think I'm going to bring in the Ophiomancer. Okay. Are you kidding? I mean, I guess this is a keep, but that's tilting. Sure. One lander with a goose and a mystic. Alright, and they need to find more land. We're going to take their mystic over their goose then. I'm going to leave the Raphelos. Obviously, they could just rip some lands and get me, but we can tutor for a Wrath. Oh, they drew Ignoble Hierarch, of course. So do I want to tutor for a Wrath then? Or, I mean, we're definitely tutoring this turn. I can get Toxic, or I can do what? Toxic buys me a lot of time. But if they just rip a couple lands, it's so awkward. I mean, I almost want to grab Jace here, too. Yeah, Jace looks good. Toxic looks good. I guess I can't grab Jace because they could Garrick soon. I should probably just grab Toxic and play it safe. Sucks. There's the Raffle. They missed a land. Alright, we're just going to Toxic for one. But I have nothing going on and they have action. So, yeah. Oh, man. Drow Bird, yeah. Maybe spin the top now. Or maybe they play their Copter out using the food. Sure. So they have Sword and Garrick in hand. Okay. It's fine. This is fine. There's Garrick. Their hand is just sort of Feast and Famine. They can crew the Copter now. Give me Massacre Worm, I guess. Oh, they discarded the sword. What the heck? Well, this is just to buy some time. It's going to soak up some damage from them is my guess, but obviously it doesn't do much here. They already have 5 damage on the board with Wolf and Copter. Sure. Okay, well. Oh, they made a beast here instead of setting up for overrun. All right, kill the Garrick. Yes, they get to loot again. Yes. I don't have a way to draw. Oh, I guess Knight's Whisper. Knight's Whisper into Damnation and something. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, they have a Crater Hoof in their hand. All right, good beats. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they need to draw land, and I lose. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, I'll do her. Well, I'd say that was fun, but that wasn't. We drew complete air. Like, game 1, we drew nothing but air. Game 2, yeah, had some good cards coming up, but wow, that is... These are the games that frustrate me, like... I don't think I did anything necessarily wrong. We actually just never had a chance. But that's Magic, baby. Let's win the third one. Okay, here we are for the third and final round of this Vintage Cube after that unfortunate loss in round 2. Still stings a bit. We're on the play here again. Hand, again, does need to find a discard outlet, but we already have Exhume in hand, and we have a card draw, so certainly worth keeping. I won't make the mistake of playing Island turn 2 this time. Good beats, good beats. Plains, all right. I'm okay if we're playing against a random white creature deck. Duress. All right, I'll go ahead and just fire off the Whisper. I was thinking about duressing in case they have like a Mana Tithe, but Liliana is a pretty darn good draw here. Tap out for some random 2-drop creature. That's not Liliana. Sorry, that's not Thalia. Kythian. Well, this is kind of rough. I mean, I guess I can't play around exactly Mana Tithe. If they have it, they have it. And we're just going to go ahead and make them sacrifice their Kythian immediately. And then next turn we get to duress them if we want to. Or what we could do is we could uptick, discard the Hullbreaker Horror, exhume it, and then duress and bounce anything that they might have, but we'll see. Blade Splicer. All right. Yeah, so maybe it's better just to get... actually, no, we're pretty close to just hard casting the Grave Titan, aren't we? Although the problem with Hullbreaker Horror is that it doesn't leave anything behind if they do have a way to deal with it. But I do kind of like going Lilia. Oh, I have a new game plan. Discard the Grizzlebrand. So Exhume is going to give them back a creature, oddly, but still seems right. And we'll go ahead and draw 7 here. Putrid Imp and a Duress, not bad. Let's go ahead and Duress first. Ravages, Chromox, Sword of Body and Mind. All right, we'll take the Ravages there. And we will discard, I guess, the Hullbreaker Horror. Keep the Grave Titan in hand. So hopefully they don't top deck anything, because we know their hand is bad. I will allow you to scoop, if you would so choose. I wonder if I should have just upticked Liliana on the turn that I played her instead of making them sack Kythian. Probably not, but it made the Exhume awkward, I guess. What's your plan here, OP? Maybe try to flip your Kythian? Okay. Alright, they're going to send everything at Liliana. So we'll put the Grizzlebrand on the token. The Imp on their hero. We want to keep Liliana alive here. It's more important to me. We also get to gain 7, so that turns into another draw 7. Yeah, I don't see how they're going to come back from this one. Oh, that made my Shallow Grave really bad, though, for Putrid Imp. I guess we can just discard Grave Titan to Liliana and Shallow Grave that next turn and just, you know, put the nail in the coffin. Alright, let's start off by drawing another 7 here. Found Entomb. Okay. So we will Entomb. I messed up. I definitely messed up. I should have animate dead here first on Kraken, and then I should have Entombed, bounced, Shallow Grave bounced, hit them, and made them sack all of their lands. Whoopsies. I mean, this is still going to be amazing, but it wasn't as good. Let's make them discard a card. And do we want to... Could draw 7 again, but let's just attack. And we want to go both face. This is more about making them sacrifice permanents. But I did have the win, basically, if I had just animated my Kraken first. Alright. I mean, they're not going to come back from that, but I didn't sequence that very well. Okay, another creature-based deck. We're going to take out the Ulamog once more. Going to bring in the Worm. And going to bring in Damnation. And I might bring in a Phiomancer versus Mono White. That's usually pretty good. I think we can cut one of the fast reanimate spells. And maybe Duress versus them? Duress was okay, but I don't think it's necessary. Go like that. And see if we can salvage this little 2-1 here. Yeah, no, I'm not going to keep this hand. This one's pretty bad, even with Demonic Tutor. think. Actually, no, it's not. This is good enough. Demonic Tutor getting Toxic Deluge versus Mono White is often just GG's, so. Okay, that Night Whisper here is, so like I was mentioning beforehand, on the draw the Whisper means I'm going to have to discard a card, which is good, right? We can just discard the Kraken. Don't care about that. Let's go ahead and Whisper. We didn't draw a land, but we naturally drew the Toxic. Okay. We have Entomb Shallow Grave as well, but hopefully I just naturally draw land, otherwise this is going to hurt. If I have to Demonic Tutor for a land, that is going to be the most feels bad I've ever seen in my life. All right, phew. Toxic for 2, good enough here. They have 4 cards left in their hand. Faithbound Judge, yeah, more of those, please. So do we want to just get Ashiok online then? Or do we want to Entomb Shallow Grave? What are we even Shallow Graving? I guess we would do Ashen Rider, but no, that only... I guess we would do Grizzlebrand and draw a bunch of cards. Yeah, that seems right. Let's Entomb Grizzlebrand. Oops. So Grizzlebrand will be exiled here, but it's more about the card draw than anything else. Nice. Now we can go Swamp, Thoughtseize. Resto Angel, Sword of Feast and Famine, Blade Splicer. What's my game plan next turn? Animate Dead, my Horror, Demonic Tutor. Bounce, hold up. Yeah, so let's take the Resto Angel. Grizzlebrand gets exiled. We can discard Titan and land. And Ophiomancer now. We don't care about the sword this turn because the judge doesn't attack, so they're just going to play out their Blade Splicer. Oh. Okay. Well, that doesn't make that much sense, but I'll accept it. All right. Animate Dead. The Horror. I don't even know what we're Demonic Tutoring for, but... Oh, I don't know why I didn't bounce the Judge. It doesn't have Pro Blue. What's in our hand? Guess we'll just grab Ashen Rider. And then we can like Mystical Tutor for Exhume or something. I don't even know. At this point, again, I don't think we can lose. As long as I'm not playing like a fool. Which is a big ask, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, now we just go Liliana, bounce the Judge. reanimate our Grave Titan from the graveyard, and then I assume they're just going to scoop. We still have Mystical Tutor as well as a bounce if necessary. Pretty sad that this deck's not going to 3-0, but oh, that round 2 will forever haunt us. Good beats. I mean, you can't really complain about a 2-1. 2-1 is going infinite in Cube, but we had high hopes, and they were dashed. Like I said, though, this deck was just missing fast mana. It had like all of the good components that you look for in a Reanimator deck, but it was missing the like a Mox or the Dark Ritual, something like that, to really just put it over the top. They're just dead here, right? Yeah. Oh, well, that will really put them... Oh, wait, that doesn't even kill that many creatures, does it? So I guess we just Cabal Ritual here. Bounce, 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 then attack for lethal. GG's. Kind of nice with the Hullbreaker Horror. I could even bounce the Animate Dead if I wanted to reanimate something else later on. It would kill the Kraken, but if there was a better target, for example. All right, nice little 2-1 here. Pretty spicy Reanimate deck. And that, my friends, is how you do it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to hit or take a peek at this deck one more time. Had a lot of the good cards. We didn't have actual Reanimate, but we basically had everything else. And then again, like I said, was missing some fast mana to really put it over the top. But 2-1, missing out on a trophy just from kind of unfortunate round 2, but that's the way it goes. We'll see you next time.